In today's video, I want to address a comment I get frequently. Darlene, I can't afford to eat steak every night. Is there anything more affordable? Today, I'll show you how you can lose weight and enjoy beef. I have 3 fabulous company-worthy ground beef recipes that you can create in your very own kitchen. Now, even the cheapest ground beef, like a 70-30 ratio, is better for you than the drive-through or a heavily high-carb processed meal. I cook from scratch every single day, so I do like to keep it simple. On this night, I created what I call a deconstructed bacon cheeseburger. You can be very creative with your meals. I brown up the beef, and I don't add any added fat. There's just no need to with ground beef. It's not necessary. And so I don't add anything to it. It doesn't stick to the pan. It works beautifully. But I do like adding some salt and some of my 50-50 ratio of my onion powder and my garlic powder. And I also love adding to ground beef some cream cheese. I add about a half a stick of cream cheese, maybe a little bit less. And just make sure that it is fully incorporated into that ground beef. Give it just a minute. Let the heat just kind of melt it all the way through that. Keep it stirred. You will be so glad that you added that. It really does add something of a rich, wonderful flavor. This is 1 pound of an organic ground beef from a half a cow that we purchased last year. And I still have quite a bit of it in my freezer. Of course, the steaks and the roasts are all gone, but there's plenty of ground beef. Now here I am just checking my eggs. I just picked these up from Farmer Will, but I had a bad experience with a bad egg not long ago. So I continue to check my eggs. Hey, if it floats to the top of the water, get rid of it. Don't crack it. You don't even want to know. It's just not nice. It's only happened once, but it was a terrible, terrible experience. Now I had some leftover bacon in my refrigerator, so I'm just going to chop it up in very edible pieces, and I'm going to add that back to the ground beef as well and just stir it all the way through. Meanwhile, while it's cooking, that cream cheese is really developing a lovely, almost like a gravy. It's very, very nice to add that to ground beef. And then I'm just going to mix it all the way through. Just make sure that everything is fully combined and just let it sit there and just do its thing. It smells so divine. You will love working with ground beef. Then sprinkle on some shredded cheddar cheese. Now, I love to shred my own cheddar cheese, but there are times when I just have to grab it from the grocery store. You can absolutely shred your own, and you can use any kind. It doesn't have to be cheddar cheese. It could be mozzarella cheese, any kind that you love on your burgers. You go ahead and put in here because this is very, very customizable, as I'm sure you can see. All right, and now I'm just going to press it down a little bit and make a few little divots in here because I'm going to crack some eggs. Yeah, that's why my eggs are out. And this is, to me, this is what kind of makes this company worthy and kind of puts it over the top. But those eggs also add a boatload of fantastic, healthy protein to this meal. Just put them right in very carefully. Now be careful not to break the yolks. The yolks are very important in this dish. I put the cover on, and you're basically letting the eggs steam. Make sure your egg whites are cooked fully, but the egg yolks can be a little bit runny, as you'll see. That's the way we love them. We just crack right into that egg yolk and just kind of spread it around and let it just kind of glide right over the top. Look at those pieces of bacon and that yummy ground beef. That is a fabulous meal. But I'm not done yet. Nope, I'm going to add a little bit of cream cheese over the top. Sour cream, excuse me. We already added cream cheese. So I'm adding some sour cream. And then, of course, you have to top it with a little bit more cheese. And friends, I'm telling you, that is a delicious burger bowl. Yes, and these wild products, if you haven't tried these yet, these are delicious. They're like chips. They're chicken chips. But you would never know it. Never. And this is like a ranch style chip, and they are so good, very low carb. You can't sit and eat the whole bag now, but you can put it on top of here. So this just added the creaminess of the cream cheese and the smoothness of the egg, and then the nice crispy crunch from those chips. It's just delicious. It is a fabulous meal. It was such a perfectly beautiful fall day today. Lou and I decided to take a little walk. Now, I've not shown you all of the property here in our farmhouse on the forest, so I'm going to show you just a little bit. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, we have not yet, we've been here not quite a year yet. We've not yet actually gone into the woods, but we probably will. One of these days, we're going to go back in there and just see what we can see. Somewhere back in there, there is a creek, and I do want to find it. But isn't it beautiful? Isn't it absolutely just beautiful? We love taking walks, and especially with the leaves changing. Now, I took this walk probably a week or so ago, and the leaves have already changed dramatically. It is that special time of year. When I come in for a walk, or if I hadn't eaten yet, this is a snack that I like. You guys ask me about snacks a lot. I just pick up a package, and I get this at Sam's Club, but you can get it anywhere. Some deli roast beef. It is so rich, beefy. It's a delicious flavor, and we both really enjoy it. You can take a mozzarella stick and kind of wrap the beef around it, and it's really delicious. And it really helps to keep those blood sugar levels down and gives you a ton of protein. The next meal up, you're going to love this one, spaghetti. Yes, my husband is Italian through and through, and for him not to have spaghetti with pasta sauce, and it was really difficult for him to give up pasta because he loves it so much. So I had to create a way that he could enjoy that spaghetti pleasure and that sauce pleasure, but not having those heavy laden carbs. We don't want that. So here I am preparing some spaghetti squash. This is squash time of year, and spaghetti squash is one of our favorites, and it's very low carb. It's delicious, and so I try to buy the biggest one that I can when I'm in the grocery store, so that I have plenty of leftovers, because we'll eat it the next night with another meal, either just as a side, or I'll use it as a base for something. Sometimes even scramble it up in some eggs. It is so good. I just cut out the middle, get rid of the seeds and the guts and everything. Add a lot of good organic olive oil and some butter and a lot of seasonings like salt and the onion and garlic powder and Italian seasonings. I have this little pizza and pasta seasoning that I love to add. Really fill that cavity up, because when you're done, I'll show you how that is going to work out, and you won't have to add another thing to that spaghetti squash. Just put all those lovely things in there. Set your oven to about 350. In about 45 minutes, it should be done. The outside of the cavity of the spaghetti squash should be really not dark brown, but it should be browned. And it should be firm, very firm, like really nicely baked. And that way your spaghetti will just pull away from the sides, the squash itself. And it really does look exactly like spaghetti. And here we go. We're going to start again with another pound of ground beef. And again, you want to make sure that you season it up really nicely with salt. If you like pepper, add pepper. But I've told you guys before, we don't care for pepper, so I pitched the pepper. And we just put a little salt in, and my 50-50 blend of garlic powder and onion powder. And of course, a little bit of Italian seasonings. If you want to use fresh herbs, you always can. And usually during the summer, I do, but I don't have any right now. Here is that pizza and pasta sauce. I'm going to try to put that down below to see if you can find it somewhere. It is absolutely delicious in everything. And I'm just going to brown that meat up really nicely. Lou and I recently, we found a local butcher, and we found this absolutely fantastic Italian bulk sausage. You can get it in a mild. I think they offered a mild and a hot. I don't care for the hot too much, so I did get the mild, and that was so delicious. If you want to really step your spaghetti sauce up, add a little bit of Italian sausage. You can also use the link sausage. Just either throw it in there whole, like I do many times, if I'm making it in a crock pot, or you can take the skin off it and just ground it up just like I did in here. Either way, it really adds great flavor. Again, another company-worthy meal. And also, you want to make sure that you add in a really good quality spaghetti sauce. If you want to make your own tomato sauce, go right ahead. But I have found my favorite sauce is the organic basil sauce from Aldi. I love it, and it's very low carb. It doesn't have hardly any sugars in it. It's very low and works perfectly for us. I also add some Parmesan cheese and just give it a good stir. I'll have all the recipes for all of today's meals down below for you. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, that looks so, it almost looks like a ragu. Yeah, that the consistency that we like is that of a ragu, not too thin and watery. And I'm just going to check on those spaghetti squash. I don't think they were quite ready yet, but just let them go a little bit longer. But here they are. Now look at all the oils and the liquid that has just in the middle of that cavity there. And that is what you want, because when you start to pull the spaghetti squash from the sides and from the bottom, you just drag it through those delicious sauces that are all seasoned with the Italian seasoning, that pizza and pasta seasoning that has all kinds of things in it, your salt, your onion powder, your garlic powder, that delicious olive oil and the butter. It will coat every strand of that spaghetti squash. You don't have to do another thing to it. You don't have to add anything more, but make sure you get every bit out because you'll be using that all week, and it freezes well too. So do it once, it's done, and you don't have to think about it anymore. Just use it for a side or for another dish. But here I decided, because I was making spaghetti and I was so excited for Lou, I decided to use the good china, and we're also going to eat by candlelight in the dining room tonight. So I just poured this delicious ragu style sauce over the top, and then a little bit of shredded Parmesan cheese, of course, goes right directly over the top. Oh, if that doesn't look delicious, I don't know what does. Come on, this is diet food? No, this is not diet food. This is food that is going to help you lose weight. This is food that's going to make you metabolically healthy and strong. Now, when we were done with our supper and that delicious spaghetti, and yes, we ate every morsel of it. It was so good, and it was just great company. We had a lovely, lovely dinner. There was a lot of sauce left over and a lot of spaghetti squash left over. So what I like to do is just fill a container, a glass container. I don't use plastic anymore. At least I try hard to avoid it. Put enough in a container that it could be for lunch or dinner for both of us, actually, the very next day. I just stick that in the refrigerator, and if it's going to be anything past like 2 days or so, I just go ahead, label it, and put it down in the freezer. Freezer meals are so important when you're dieting, because sometimes you can just have that feeling of really, really wanting to eat, and if there's nothing there, that's when trouble can happen. And you can choose to eat something that is not going to be good for your body. right, the next and final meal for you tonight is so delicious. I had so much fun working on this recipe. Lou and I love Mexican food. We always have, and I try to have something with those Mexican flavors, taco flavors, at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. I even put it over steak sometimes. It's that good. We like it that much. And tonight I decided to make some Mexican meatballs, and let me tell you, they were amazing. They were totally amazing. I still have a couple left in the refrigerator, and we will probably eat those tonight. They were just so good. Start again with a pound of ground beef. And now, of course, if you have a larger family, if you have more people that you have to feed, then throw in 2 pounds of ground beef. Or if you really like to have freezer meals available, always you can double every single one of these recipes. And I added some of my own taco mix that I make, but you can absolutely look on the back and try and find the best taco mix flavoring seasonings that you can find, and put that in there. I also added in some cheese and some salt and some of my onion powder and garlic powder seasonings. It's already smelling so good. It's just unbelievable. And here's some chilies. I got a little can of chilies. Those are also just naturally low carb. You don't want to put the whole can in there for a pound of ground beef. I think I put in about 2 teaspoons, and then also some Rotel. You're just reinforcing flavor. You want this just packed with a punch of flavor. And just go back in there with your hand and mix it all up as good as you can. Over at my pan now, recently I made my own beef tallow. Now, that was a fun experience. I really enjoyed it. The butcher, when we got our half a cow, he gave me a ton of fat, and it's been sitting in the freezer for almost a year, and finally I decided, you know what, I'm going to give this tallow a try, and I'm so glad I did. Did you see how clean and white it was? It was a great experience. If you would like to see how I made that tallow, let me know in the notes below, because I did film it, and I can make a short video on how to do that. And all I'm going to do here, I put some tallow in the bottom of this pan. Tallow is so flavorful, and it browns so well. If you can buy tallow, I would do it, because look at the brown that comes off on these meatballs. It's just delicious. Get it nice and hot, and then brown all your sides of your meatballs. Just roll them with your hand and put them in. Of course, I love my cast iron pan, but you can put them in any pan you want. And I like to flip mine over, just make sure that all the sides are nice and brown. Honestly, tallow gives almost like a crispy, it's almost like you're deep frying these delicious meatballs in that tallow sauce. Look at the browning you get on that. It's just so good. When they were nice and browned, I took them out and just put them on a plate and let them sit for a minute, because I want to make this little bit of a sauce here. I just take the drippings from the beef and all the flavorings from the meatloaf and all the things that I put in there. And I did add, about a teaspoon extra of that taco seasoning. In here, I thought the camera was on, and it was not. I was so upset. But it's about a cup of organic beef stock, and about 3/4 of a cup, maybe a cup also, of heavy whipping cream, and a little salt, and some onion powder and garlic powder. And I just let that come to a boil and get nice and thick. That creamed works every single time. You do not need flour to make a thick, rich sauce. Then I put the meatballs back in the pan, put all those delicious drippings back in there. Don't let those be wasted. Yes, they are. Doesn't that look so good? And into a 350-degree oven. And you just want to cook them. Now, they're very small, so they didn't take long at all, maybe 20-25 minutes, if that. And look at that. Oh, they are so... Honestly, I'm doing this video today, and I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness gracious, that was such a really great meal. And I did reuse some of that spaghetti squash that we had the other night. That is the base of our bowls here. And I'm just going to fill them both up, because we're having a quick dinner on this night. This dinner came together so fast. This truly was not only a simple supper, but it was a fast supper. If you need something super fast, and again, I'm just going to reiterate, if you need to have more than this for company, or if you have to feed a big family with lots of children, children are going to love this. If they like tacos, they will absolutely love the flavor in this. And just make sure that you get some of that sauce from the bottom, and you will absolutely love it. I'm also going to add a little bit of sour cream right over the top, and then right on top of that I'm going to add a little bit more of the shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm telling you, it was a spectacular meal. We enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you so much for joining me today here at Super at 60's Farmhouse in the Forest. I hope you'll join me next time for more delicious simple suppers. Bye now, and Lord bless.